Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking about Palworld. Now, as you're all aware, Nintendo has been in the process of suing Palworld for certain patent infringements. Whether you agree with this or not, there seems to be some information out there talking about how Nintendo just recently patented certain things even after Palworld came out. I don't know. Honestly, I don't care. I think it's bad for the industry. So it's summarized pretty well in this PC Gamer article here. I find it hard to see Nintendo's patent lawsuit as being anything but bad for competition and creativity in the industry. Warner Bros. Famously trademarked the Nemesis system from its Mordor games and then said on it, the system's promised use in an upcoming Wonder Woman game having yet to materialize. God forbid an independent developer attempt something similar. In a medium built on imitation and iteration, FPSs were once called Doom clones. A high profile legal effort to punish that behavior strikes me as short sighted and bad for gamers. What if Nintendo had patented Wario Land's level escape mechanic and brought it to bear against Pizza Tower, which redefined and expanded the concept? Palworld is clearly derivative, maybe even to the point of being tasteless, but in making an example of it, Nintendo's actions may scare off other worthier games in the future. And that's the part I think is important here that a lot of people seem to misunderstand or lose sight of because they are Nintendo fanboys or they're Pokemon fanboys, or for whatever reason they just don't like Palworld. I think Palworld was great. It combined survival with essentially Pokemon, not to mention it had guns. I think it was more of an adult Pokemon game and was better than Pokemon in almost every facet of it, as far as I'm concerned. Now, Palworld developers stated that Nintendo was suing them for 3 Pokemon patents for only $66,000 in damages. Wow, I'm really surprised it's just that low. That's crazy. But a video game IP lawyer says fighting the lawsuit could mean burning millions of dollars. And this is and that's why I don't like this, because they keep it low because they're trying to force their copyright. I think that's what they're doing. They're trying to say, look, it's going to be a lot easier for you to just bow down, bend the knee, than it is to fight this. Because I think Nintendo knows that they would lose if they were to fight this, at least if it was based on US law. I don't know about Japanese law. Their copyright law is a little bit different than the US's copyright law, but I still think Nintendo should lose. Whether they would or not, I don't know. But I still think they should lose because what they've done is absurd here. So in this other PC Gamer article, they reported, thanks to Pocket Bear's report, we finally have confirmation about the patents forming the basis for Nintendo's infringement allegations. Nintendo's lawsuit claims that Palworld infringes on 3 Japanese patents, a trio granting Nintendo protections on creature catching and riding mechanics. Now, we all assume that some of this was involving the Pokeball itself and the act of throwing it and whatnot. That here doesn't seem to back up that claim. However, just recently, there was an article produced by Niche Gamer talking about Palworld removes Palsphere summons amidst lawsuit over Nintendo's patents. So this kind of provides a little bit more understanding that, yes, some of these patents do seem to revolve around the Pokeball or the Palspheres. So Japanese developer Pocket Pair has released a new update for Palworld that effectively removes the Palspheres from the game. The new update for the game has removed the ability to summon pals by throwing a pal sphere. Now players summon their pals by holding out the pal sphere, which summons their pals directly next to them. I think this is so dumb. Now, if it's true, based on what this article says about the amount of damages Nintendo is seeking, I understand why Palworld is doing what it's doing. They're not wanting to go broke. They want to keep their game alive. And if it's just adjusting things to make Nintendo happy and pay the $66,000 versus burning millions of dollars fighting this lawsuit, I hate it, but I understand from a business perspective. I hate it though. I don't want Nintendo to win in this. As much as I love Nintendo, I've loved Nintendo ever since I was a kid. I got my first NES system. I hate that Nintendo is essentially bullying these people. And that's what Nintendo has become, which is a bully. And they are very aggressive when it comes to protecting their IP. So much so that I think it crosses the line. Before the update and the big change, players could throw their Palspheres out to summon their pets. just like another popular monster collecting game series. Now, the difference for me, if granted, I haven't played a Pokemon game probably. I don't think I played the last couple of ones they released. It was very much the same thing. It became very boring. What little changes they put into it didn't invigorate it enough, as far as I'm concerned, to make it worth playing. My kids played some, but even they fell off on these games because it became boring and monotonous. It was just go here, catch Pokemon, go fight this person. Go. I mean, it was, I don't know. It was very. It was just very boring. I mean, it was not very. Can't think of the word right now. Just it's not very fun, right? Power World, they innovated enough that it made it fun. It was really fun to do, and you could automate a lot of the things you had to craft. I mean, that part was cool as well. So when it came to summon and pals, what I ended up doing in Power World is a lot of times I would throw them at the pal that I was wanting to fight or capture. They wouldn't be summoned by my side. They'd be thrown whether I'm on top of a cliff. It doesn't matter where I'm at. You don't summon them right next to you. You throw them at the pal. So they can be there and immediately start battling, and the pal's not focused on you. You can then start attacking the pal potentially while your pal is fighting the wild creature that you're wanting to capture, right? I said creature to avoid saying pal way too many times. All right. Nintendo's lawsuit seeks an injunction and damages totally roughly 10 million JPY, approximately 65,000 USD. The injunction is where Nintendo wants Power World pulled from the market due to the alleged similarities in the game to patents Nintendo's file. And the problem with this is it stifles creativity. I don't think, did they get very close to that line? Probably. But some of this stuff wasn't patented until the game was already out. I mean, we saw this in this PC Gamer article. It stated Pocket Pair's report details the application and registration dates of the patents in question, all three of which were filed by and granted to Nintendo in the months following Power World's release in January 2024. And this is what really baffles me and really irritates the shit out of me. It pisses me off. It just seems wrong. It seems like this shouldn't be allowed to have occurred. They filed and was granted these patents after the game that came out that they're trying to sue for violating these patents. It makes no bloody sense to me whatsoever. However, each filing asserted in the lawsuit is a continuation of a series of patents Nintendo had originally filed in 2021 during the development of Pokemon Legends Arceus. So it's a continuation of a series of patents. I don't fully understand this, but down here below, as an IP attorney, Kirk Simon explained in an interview with PC Gamer in September, patent continuations, called divisional patents in Japanese legal practice, allow a patent holder to specify additional claims as an extension of the original patent. As you go through this process and file divisionals, continuations, whatever, you are drafting claims that you are more and more tailored towards assertion. You know more about what you can get and what you can't, and what you can also do is, if you know who you're going to go sue, you can draft claims to target them. So, okay. See, to me, this is dirty. This is dirty. Nintendo, as far as I'm concerned, that's fucked up. That's extremely fucked up. You're jealous, you're envious, you're probably butthurt that your game has not been as popular in recent times compared to what Power World was. I mean, Power World exploded onto the scene. It was extremely popular. I mean, just look at this. All-time peak 11 months ago, over 2 million people. I mean, hell, you still have over 30,000 people playing it now. Almost 40,000 in the last 24 hours. This, to me, screams nothing but petty jealousy by Nintendo. Petty jealousy. Nintendo wasn't the one that originally created some of the concepts that they have. They themselves would not necessarily steal, but have things, influence their design decisions or their game decisions. I mean, there's nothing nowadays is original. It's all based on other things. They steal, they grab, they're heavily influenced, I guess you should say, instead of stealing. They're just jealous of how successful Power. It was probably a major threat to them in the stranglehold on this market, and it just irritates the shit out of me. All right, so now it's obvious to see why Pocket Pair likely removed this from the game, but To date, the developer hasn't said a peep as to why they suddenly removed this functionality. Even more confusingly, the ability to throw PAL spheres for catch and PAL still remains in the game, though Nintendo probably hasn't patented that yet. Well, that could be one of those other provisional patents or whatever that we just discussed. The unexpected change has been almost universally hated by fans, mostly due to the fact that they would strategically throw PAL spheres out of harm's way when an enemy is attacking. What? Why would you ever do that? I want to stay alive. My pal is going to be in the middle of combat. The only time I would pull my pal out of combat was before he would die, and I would just be throwing another one in there. The old method could have also been used to place your pals in a good spot for attacking. I never throw them out of harm's way, but I definitely throw them into harm's way when I was trying to start attack with another pal or whatever, trying to capture them and whatnot. It's entirely possible Pocket Pair removed this gameplay mechanic from the game to avoid a potentially bad outcome from the lawsuit for them. If Nintendo wins, they'd either be forced to remove the mechanics or possibly be forced to remove the game from sale. All I'm saying, guys, look, you can hate Palworld all you want. You could be a Nintendo fanboy, but if you can't see the issue with what Nintendo is doing here, you have a problem. You need to do some serious reflection. Look in the mirror and understand what it is you're supporting here, because this is going, if they're able to add things later on, as this article said here, if you know who you're going to sue, you can draft claims to target them. And by claims, he's talking about additional claims as an extension of the original patent. In other words, you're fine-tuning your patent after the fact to make it easier for you to use that patent to go and sue another company who made a game that's similar to yours, but is probably much more profitable and popular at that given point in time. And that's the problem I have with this. It's stifling creativity. If Nintendo was really worried about this, they should have created a game just like Palworld first. They didn't. They were butthurt. They were caught with their pants down. They were just, happy, pleasuring themselves on the revenue coming in from Pokemon without doing anything new. And now they're pissed because Palworld came in and basically stole their lunch. So I don't know what Palworld's ultimately going to do. I don't like this change, but I do understand from a business perspective what they're probably doing. They're probably trying to save their game. They've already made money, but they're probably trying to keep it out there because who knows what other plans they have for this game. They've been releasing DLC and new content for the game kind of regularly. So as far as I'm concerned, Nintendo, that you're fucking trash at this point. That's garbage. I mean, I love your Mario games and stuff, but have you went after other video games for doing like a platform type game? I mean, you had Sony just released, what was it, Astrobot? Did you sue them for, oh, this character can jump. Oh, this character can double jump. Oh, this little thing's spinning around that he has to jump over or duck under to avoid. Did you sue them for any of this crap? No. You're just butthurt that Palworld came and stole your lunch out from under your nose, and it happened to involve probably one of your two most cherished IPs. And you just got a little pissy. And so you're lashing out in revenge, which I think is garbage. So that's all I got for you today, guys. Let me know what you think about this. Obviously, I would imagine your honest, unbiased gamer is really going to hate this because of what it sets. And I had no idea that Japanese law would allow you to go back and adjust your patent retroactively just so that you could go after another company and sue them for patent infringement. That's fucking absurd. So if you liked the video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel for more content, and I will talk to you guys next time.